Welcome everybody back to another episode of Building with Juxey. In the previous episode we worked on this beautiful granite garrison. This thing is very beautiful indeed. I for one am extremely proud of this thing. I have just finished basically the entire interior of this place, and basically all my storage is up here now, so I've just been just coming up here anyways, so I just wanted to fill out the place with interior. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different from the previous ones. Instead of all of this building, we are actually going to do a lot of terraforming, and I know that may seem kind of boring, but in all reality, it's probably going to be the most interesting terraforming I have ever done in Minecraft. So I have come up with an idea for this kingdom. I thought it would be cool if it had like a wet and dry season, somewhat like Australia and parts of Africa. But basically during the wet season, the waters flood, and it basically just makes the land fertile, something very similar to the Nile in Egypt. So I thought that, hey, let's just have the entire time period in this kingdom be in the dry season, so we could have something like a dried river. And here I've kind of made a demo over on what a dried river would look like in Minecraft. So if you look, let me just make my way up here. If you look over here, the plan is to build like some sort of a dam or some wall, like a levee, and basically when the waters overflow during the wet season, they flow into this river, and this river will be all like going all the way over to where you see that mine. So I'm just like doing some meandering like planning with this brown carpet right now. But basically this irrigation channel, I guess is the best word, would then be flooded, and it'll kind of supply water to the settlement that'll live here. I think that's a really cool detail to add to this kingdom, and it would be nice to just have some details for like every corner of this kingdom. But you can already see that I started with some things here, and the blocks that I'm using all have some brown in them. I'm still continuing that trend from really exploiting those colors from each block in Minecraft to kind of combine them in interesting and unique ways. So you can already see that I'm using this podzol with its light orange, light brown coloring, as well as the dark brown in the soul soil and the soul sand, and I'm combining that with coarse dirt and dark oak to kind of create this muddy feel to the dried up river. Some plants that are here are just the bamboo shoots. You can create these just by placing a bamboo and then putting a string on it to make sure that it never grows. And another thing is using dead bushes. This just gives off a feel of the river is actually kind of dried up instead of still being a lush environment. And then these little cliff faces are just made up of some deep slate, just the raw deep slate that you can collect with silk touch, and stone, which I'll probably dirty up with some andesite and cobblestone, and then some of this, it's either brown or black terracotta. What is it? Yeah, black terracotta. Currently it looks good, and I think what I'm going to do is have some like some nice points of interest throughout here with like rundown or broken rowboats that got in an unfortunate situation because like maybe a person set out their rowboat for like a couple weeks, and then they came back and it kind of sank when the river dried up. I think that would be a really cool detail to add. And also I'm going to have bridges that stretch across this whole dried up river, which will add a lot more detail to it. So without further ado, let me start on first digging all of this out, and then we can actually do the cliffs, and then we can do the muddy waters. So I have done some work over here, and been building some townhouses over here. Not that much progress, but I have been incorporating the more urban life with a little bit more greenery. I want this area to feel a little bit more vibrant. and than a little bit more vibrant than the other area to the south of here, that area. I just want to include a little bit more of plants and these market stalls. Anything that just adds color, I think, will be a really cool aesthetic for this region of the Desert Kingdom. And while building this, I also started the this dried out river portion, and man, it looks pretty good. Like, I think I nailed the muddy look of the riverbed. I think I've done a smackdown a great job on that. It's just these little cliff walls that I'm having little problems with. It's because I'm not really incorporating like any of the grass and coarse dirt layer along with it. So it kind of looks very off when you're on a road and then you just see stone. I don't think it works that well. So I'll definitely revisit it later this episode, but right now I'm pretty happy. So here are my plans for this area of the city. Foremost, I want to have a more government building that will be elevated on a cliff, just a small one, and it'll be made out of red sandstone and orange terracotta. So it'll have like a more of a red sandstone vibe. I kind of want to make all the important buildings like made out of red sandstone and like some quartz, like the one over there. Um, so the interesting part of this is it'll have a building over here, and it'll have a building on like around there. And how it'll connect is there will be a bridge that just goes like above this dried out river, and I think it'll be a really cool aesthetic. Another thing that I want to have is a watermill because I just want to add some more history to this region. Don't go mule. So like having a watermill built out of copper, I think will just add a lot more history to this place, especially that weathered copper. It'll just look a lot better. And I also want to include some more job-oriented houses. So my plan for this building would be it's a blacksmith, so there will be like an awning from here to there, and it'll house the blacksmith's tools, his forge, and anything that he's created before. And I never actually made any like job housing yet in this city, so having a blacksmith first I think will be really cool. So I think what I'm going to do now is actually start on the construction of this watermill, and then after that move on to the cliff construction, and then we'll move to somewhere else, like maybe the government building to finish off this episode. Trader came by and he gave me some drip leaves, so I traded with him and I got 10 drip leaves. So I've been planting them along this river, and all you need to do is to plant them is have any sort of dirt block or clay block, and then it has to be underwater, and then you just place your drip leaf and there you go. And this drip leaf just adds a really nice aesthetic. Just adds more wildlife to this area. And as you can see, it just adds more variation to the amount of plants in this area. Like, I can already see those 3 drip leaves just blending in so well with the bamboo shoots and those dead bushes. So this is what the water wheel currently looks like, and it's quite interesting because, you know, this is a dried river, and what is this wheel's purpose in a dried river? Like, there's not much for a water wheel to actually do when the river is all dried up. So I kind of needed to add some history to it. And so what I did is I added these leaves and these vines on the water wheel. And what this does is it makes it feel like the water wheel hasn't been in use for some time. However, if you go a little bit overboard, with the leaves and all the vines and stuff, you kind of lose the shape of the water wheel in the process, and it's kind of hard for the player to understand the shape of the water wheel and like what it's there for. So I think I did just enough to where you can make out that it's a water wheel and that it's been there for some time. Now the actual palette for the mill, the building of the water mill is quite interesting as well. So I tried to make like a stucco type palette type color, and and I used the stripped birch and stripped oak logs at the bottom, and then sandstone and smooth sandstone at the top to kind of give off that feel that it's like stucco, but it's not sandstone. So that's why I wanted to differentiate from these buildings with the stripped logs. So this building is pretty much done. I just need to gather some brick, something that I'm very low on apparently because I need brick for that building over here and also for this building. I think I used up all the brick last episode building that monster of a garrison over there. But besides that, this water mill's pretty much done, or it's like almost done. What I do want to add is like some doodads like windows, some carpet for color, just things that I've been adding throughout the place around this area. But next, what I want to do is I want to start on this government building, where it's kind of going to be like a library or like sort of like an office building, I guess. And what it's and the palette that and basically the main block that is going to be used is red sandstone, and this is probably the hardest block to get in vanilla survival, just because red sandstone doesn't spawn naturally. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can only get red sandstone from red sand, and that's only in the mesa. So I need to spend like a couple of hours just gathering red sand for this giant building. Like it's going to be here, and then there's going to be an arch going all the way over there. And then I also have some plans to build some houses over there, but that's besides the point. I think I need to gather some red sandstone, so let me do that, and then we can plan this government building. All right there. So I've mined or gathered all of the red sand. I've been converting it to red sandstone and just been putting it through my super smelter to get some smooth red sandstone, and then been transporting it back to the dried river area. So once all of this is smelted through, I'll be able to actually start construction. Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed that really cool time lapse. Tried to make it a little bit different than usual, making it seem like layer by layer. But this is what the like the government building kind of looks like right now. I like it a lot. Pretty good. I tried my best to make that roof as detailed as possible with the textures of that gold raw ore and then the wool there. I'm not yet done with the actual structure. You see, I need to put some window panes there. I just got this concrete because I need to do this over here. Oh, there are some spiders here. And as you can see, it is quite dark in here, so let me go ahead and light up this area. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking currently. There's not much that I don't like about this, to be honest. I'm missing those two orange terracotta. That's the only thing I have negative to say. I just want to round this whole atrium room with some light blue concrete. I find that the light blue concrete mixes quite well with the orange glazed terracotta. So you may be asking yourself, what is this place? Why have you built this? Well, one, it looks pretty cool, and two, it adds more height to the actual city. Because before, the city is pretty much really flat. I still have to do this roof area and fill in those window panes, as I've said. But this area is going to become a library, I think. It's going to be bookshelves, basically on the perimeter of this room. And then there will be a bridge which will go across this dried river. I'm going to extend this dried river so it kind of cuts around that stone area over there and around there instead of going through there. Maybe even going around this area. I don't know. Yeah, but basically I wanted this area, this building to differentiate itself from like the residential housing through color and also through size. I found that this area is nice. I get a lot of detail with the houses, but they're not tall. And having this government building like really tall compared to these houses really differentiates itself. But I am not done with that building. As I said before, I want to have a bridge going across from that opening there over to this. And I think I said this before, but I want to have another tower here, and it'll connect to that bridge. So you'll have a tower here, bridge, and then another tower. But besides that, that's all I have accomplished. Now this blacksmith, I think is really, really cool. It kind of gives off its own style in itself. Like with the weird roof that I made, and also that it's kind of using some medieval like desert type styles with the carpet. I think it's just really, really awesome. So here's the blacksmith forge, obviously. Then inside is like a storehouse. I have a campfire underneath some furnaces here that's making the smoke. So basically just some storage, just storing stuff for building this giant building over there. And then I have an upstairs, and basically this whole outside area is all carpet. It's suspended on string. And that's pretty much it. I forgot, my boots broke, and it looks like all of my level 30 enchanted armor is about to break. I really need to cure that mending villager to get like 1 emerald trades, because it's really it's going to become a need very, very soon. I've enchanted about like 5 pickaxes today, and I've only gotten unbreaking 3 essentially. Feels bad, man, but you know, I feel like in a few episodes or so I'm going to go to the end and kind of progressively get a little bit more geared up with like shulker shells and all that stuff. But I have been ranting for far too long. I have to kind of cut away this river from this to over here. Maybe even making this a man-made island with some houses on it. I think that may be a little cool. We'll see. Hello, donkey. And then I also want to do some houses here. I want to have like a central well here. I think it'll be a really cool aesthetic. Anyways, let me get started on that. So guys, I have completed the build of the bridge in this second tower here. I also added like an ornament crown to both of the domes here for both towers, and overall I think it looks really beautiful, honestly. It's pretty scenic, and it can even be visible from over here, like from this river. If like someone is traveling on their boat, they can all like see it, and man, it's pretty good. Looks pretty nice. I'm also waiting for those blocks to oxidize to the weathered and the oxidized types of the copper. And I also did this river here, this dried river. It was a quick little thing, but yeah. Oh, you can also see that mine over there that we did in a couple episodes ago. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but this river here. So there's been a little bit of a change of plans for the direction with this river. How I'm gonna take it. Basically, it's going to split off into two branches. One branch going here, and the other branch going over here. And this will be done through like streams and stuff like that. Just in the background of videos, honestly. Just like something that I can do while listening to music or something. And then here are just some rudimentary plans for some housing here. Overall, we are still in the preliminary stage of this section of the city. But to be honest, we're like almost done with this section. Like we only have the river, and honestly that's probably the least important part of the city, as we just want to get these houses. But yeah, the interior is kinda a thing. I still have to fix these glazed terracottas so that their orientation is in more of a mosaic artistic looking thing. But then there's a spiral staircase with a chandelier, which I really like. I like what I did with the chandelier with the white and light gray stained glass. I found that using lighting in your build can really improve the quality of your builds. It just gives a little bit more depth. But yeah, then the player can actually walk on this bridge, and then over here is just some bottom slab floor, very similar to the floor over there, but I just don't know what to do here. I think I may actually put an iron farm here. I don't know. I don't know how big an iron farm has to be, but if it can fit within a 34 diameter circle, then hey, that works with me. And the amount of detail that is now in this section of the city that wasn't there before is just incredible. I really like what I did with this place. Just building the amount of houses around the landscape of the dried river, along with this huge, almost medium-sized to mega build of a red sandstone and orangish colored building. I think it just all works, especially this water wheel. Kind of the underrated part of this section of area, but I really like it. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be all for me. This episode did take a lot of time to actually make and edit and everything, so I do hope you appreciate the effort that I put into this video and my other videos, of course. Remember to like this video if you did like it, and if you have any ideas for any builds that I can make in this desert kingdom, please let me know in the comment section below. I do appreciate that a lot. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.